Hi everybody. Today I want to talk about something that I just feel like it needs to be discussed. Mommy life, feeding your baby. I know it's a personal choice, I guess, with what you decide to do, but I decided to breastfeed my babies. And it was a real journey. I did not think I was going to breastfeed at all when I got pregnant. So I want to explain how I went from thinking I wasn't going to breastfeed at all to breastfeeding my children for 2 years each. And also kind of the ups and downs and things people I feel like they don't discuss. And I feel it's important to discuss it because it makes the journey easier for every person who thinks they want to take that route. So I just want to talk about that and all the annoyances and ups and downs and just give you the real on breastfeeding. Okay, so let me start off by saying, yeah, I did not think that I was going to breastfeed. When I decided to get pregnant with my son, I had just gotten implants, breast implants, maybe 6 months prior. Please do not ask me why I was so idiotic to spend all of that money on breast implants just to ruin them with pregnancy 6 months later. I don't know. Oh my God. I would have saved it until after I was done breastfeeding. No, I didn't have any problems breastfeeding with implants. That's a whole different subject, but I didn't have any issues. It was just normal, whatever. So I didn't think I was going to breastfeed at all because I didn't want to ruin my boobs. But the thing about it is, pregnancy is going to do it. You know, it doesn't matter if I decided to breastfeed or not. Pregnancy was going to affect my implants and my boobs and the way they looked, period, okay? So I was like, okay, I don't want to ruin my boobs or whatever. A lot of people that I knew who had children, they always formula fed. I was formula fed, so I just thought, you know what, I don't think I'm going to breastfeed. Then I kept hearing more information about breastfeeding and the benefits. So I said, okay, well, I'll breastfeed the newborn. I'll breastfeed for 3 months, okay? So I was like, all right, 3 months, I'm going to breastfeed. Then I kept hearing about, exclusively breastfeeding for, the first, 6 months or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. I might do 6 months, but I'm not sure. So I had the baby. I knew I wanted at first to breastfeed, and I had so many issues. First of all, his latch was not the absolute best, but we worked through that. What got terrible was that he went through a nursing strike. So when he was 8 weeks old, only 2 months old, he decided he did not want to latch onto the breast anymore. So everyone around me, because they hadn't breastfed, were telling me, oh, he weaned. Now you're going to have to give him the bottle only. You might as well stop breastfeeding. But I was not convinced. I went to the La Leche League, their little meetings and stuff, trying to figure out ways to get the baby back to the breast, and I had to pump every single time. It was horrible. First, when you start breastfeeding, it hurts. When they latch, it hurts. You have to reposition them because they're learning how to latch properly. They know how to suckle, right? They have that natural instinct, but they're latched, it's like a little dance between you and that baby, trying to get it right, the head right, the arm right, the tongue out, the bottom lip down, the head back. I mean, it's a dance, and no one told me about that. Also, no one told me how stressful it would be trying to figure out how much your baby is eating. You have to go by the diapers, but because you're used to seeing, or I was used to seeing at the time, people with bottles feeding the baby, I didn't know how much the baby was getting. I didn't know if he was hungry or not. Then when I would pump out, it would be just a little bit. Mind you, some women respond better to baby, most women respond better to baby than to the pump. So I'm just like, oh my God, it's only this much. I mean, how is he going to survive in this much milk? It was colostrum. Colostrum is measured by the teaspoons. No one told me that, so there I was, stressed out, afraid, and thinking my baby wasn't eating, and he was fine. He was gaining weight fine. Okay, then he strikes and won't go back to the boob. He wouldn't go back to the boob until he was 6 months old. Yes, 2 months to 6 months. He would not latch on whatsoever. So my milk supply was just going like down. I'm taking fenugreek and all this other mess to get my supply up, drinking water like crazy, pumping around the clock. It was super duper stressful. And if I didn't keep reading and keep going to other breastfeeding support groups, I definitely would have quit. And I didn't even want to go past 6 months to begin with. So after that, when he finally latched on at 6 months, I wasn't stopping. I wasn't giving up at that point. I was like, you know what? We're gonna go longer. And when we hit his first birthday, I was like, okay, well, we hit that 12-month mark. What should I do? Should I continue breastfeeding? And I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go by him. I'm just gonna go by the fact that he still wants to breastfeed. Now, this is what I tell a lot of my friends who try to breastfeed, is that once you make it to that 12-month mark, everything gets a lot easier. Like, a whole lot easier, because they're eating food, they're doing other things, so you aren't breastfeeding around the clock. They technically should be sleeping through the night, so you're not nursing all night long, you're not nursing all throughout the day. They are doing other things. So at that time, he went down to about 2 to 3 times a day nursing, you know, first in the morning, around nap time, and at night. So it was pretty straightforward for us. I actually stopped pumping altogether. I hated pumping. After that whole nursing strike, pumping was just not my thing. And I just didn't respond well to the pump. So I don't know. Somehow I was able to still retain enough milk for him. Obviously he was eating food and other things as well, but I was able to keep breastfeeding. And so that second year, from 12 months on, was pretty easy, and it made weaning really easy too. And that was with my first baby, and I pretty much repeated the same thing with the second. The only reason I stopped breastfeeding them, other than the fact that at some point, you know, they have to wean. I mean, biologically, you're not supposed to breastfeed your whole life. Biologically, you know, I don't tell people what to do as far as that's concerned, but as far as biology is concerned, you know, you don't breastfeed your whole life. You lose your baby teeth, right? You become older and you lose the lactase enzyme. Most people, some people don't, but like 80% of people, you lose it somewhere between 2 years old and 5 years old. So biologically, probably by the time you're about 5, you probably shouldn't be breastfeeding anymore. But do what you want, whatever. I'm not here to discuss that. Please don't get in the comment section about that. Please. So anyway, I stopped because I was pregnant, and I was in my 3rd trimester, and I started getting contractions and everything. So with each, it was usually, that was the reason why I stopped right before their second birthday, or right around their second birthday, stopped breastfeeding. But anyway, same thing with my daughter, same schedule, but the only thing was her latch in the beginning was out of control. Literally, she would latch on me, and it would be so painful that my nipples, literally, TMI, started to bleed. And I'm asking the doctor, like, what should I do? Basically, you have to just nurse through it, like nurse through the blood. So I'm literally shaking, putting this newborn to my breast that are bleeding. I told you this was the real. No? Okay, so I'm over here like, oh God. But I would say that lasted about 3 days before it was over with. The pain subsided, but I was afraid to put her to breast. I was afraid to pump. I was afraid to touch my breasts. They felt like they were on fire because she was a little tongue-tied. Not anything serious to the point where she needed medical attention for it, but it was just a little bit. She wasn't, oh my God. It was terrible. It was terrible. Then with my 3rd baby, he didn't latch for the first 24 hours, okay? And let me tell all those crunchy moms out there, I did the crunchy stuff. I had no epidural. He went straight to chest. I didn't even have them wash him when he first came out. I'm like, nope, straight to me. Don't wash him. Keep the corpus callosum all over him. I don't care. Here's my breast. Take my breast. Take the milk. Oh, you don't want it? You're good? Fine. Let's do skin to skin. All right, next hour. You want it? No, you don't. 24 hours later, this boy finally decides to latch and eat. And they were testing his blood sugar levels because I had gestational diabetes, so they had to test his blood sugar levels to make sure they were high and still, you know, normal. Not high, normal. And they were normal still. And the reason was because of skin to skin. When a baby, when they first come out, their blood sugars will normalize and their temperature and everything just by being skin to skin, which is amazing. An amazing thing about nature. I actually didn't even know that for my first child, but for my third little baby, I did know that. And so I kept him there. His blood sugar levels were absolutely normal, and he did not breastfeed for the first 24 hours. And he also didn't lose a lot of weight leaving the hospital either, which was amazing to me. I don't even know how that works, but apparently skin to skin can help with that. He wasn't crying for any hungriness or anything like that, but I was just very concerned because I never had a baby that didn't latch within the first, few hours after delivery. Has that ever happened to anybody else? Is anyone else afraid of that? Because I know it's kind of scary because you don't want the baby to be dehydrated or anything like that. But the medical professionals at my hospital, they seemed really knowledgeable about this. And also, I came in there prepared with my knowledge because, I like to research. So I knew, boom, skin to skin was going to really help us. And we were able to start breastfeeding, and he didn't lose a lot of weight, and he wasn't dehydrated, and we were fine. Everything was good. But yeah, but it was stressful. All of this stuff was very stressful. But 110%, I have to say that after year 1, it was really easy to get to year 2. So if you are deciding to breastfeed and you're able to hit that 12-month mark and you want to keep going, I promise you, it's really easy to keep going. And I found that weaning was a little bit easier too because we didn't breastfeed all the time and they were a little older, and I was able to say no because mommy doesn't, want to keep breastfeeding anymore. Kind of trying to explain to them because they were a little bit older. They would be a little upset, but nothing crazy where I felt really bad, and it was easy to kind of substitute other things for them because they were older and they were eating solid foods and walking around and talking and everything. So yeah, that was my breastfeeding experience. Am I still breastfeeding right now? Yes, I am. I'm still breastfeeding right now. My son is 14 months old, so we're still going strong. Do I want to stop? Yes, I do. I want to stop, and I want to get my boobs redone. Okay, I'm not gonna even lie. All right. I'm tired. Like, think about it. I've been breastfeeding and pregnant for the last 6 years. Straight, non-stop. I'm tired. Okay? I'm tired. I want my body back for myself. So, but I'm still going. We'll see when we stop. But anyway, leave your comments below, questions below, ask me anything about the breastfeeding experience. I'm here to help you guys, and I will try to answer everyone's question as best I can. If I don't see your question here, hit me up on Instagram, okay? I'm gonna leave my Instagram name is @1BrittanyKelly, and I'm more active on there, so that's really the best place to reach me as well if you want a question answered, and I will try my best to get to everybody. All right, see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, all that fun stuff that you see in every single YouTube video that every single YouTuber has probably told you to do. Can you do that for me too? Can you do me that favor? All right, and I will see you in a few days with a brand new video because I am uploading content more frequently and I want to share as much with you as possible. All right, love you guys. Bye bye.